At JCPenney's 4th of July sale, it's all stars, stripes, and savings. Enjoy up to 50% off select furniture, mattresses, and window coverings. Plus, shop thousands of doorbusters across the store or use your coupon for additional savings. Take advantage of extended store hours Friday and Saturday. It's time to refresh your star-spangled manor. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Offers end 7/4. Exclusions apply. Doorbusters excluded from coupons. See jcp.com for details.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
That new doctor is drop-dead gorgeous.
Please, he's just another RV League-educated surgeon with good hair.
No, he's different.
Nurses, we got a Class C motorhome with a detached driver's side mirror. Meet me in the OR. Stat.
Right away, doctor.
No, she's on break. I'll handle this one.
Oh, you conniving little...
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
What is going on? You are watching and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. That's right. I'm your host, Steve V, and this is episode 378 alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette with a straw in hand. How you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I'm feeling fancy with my beautiful metal straw. Yes,
metal,
queen.
yes.
I know, right?
We are serving it up. That's right. On a Wednesday, happy hump day to all of you guys. Those of you guys who listen to us when this comes out Thursdays morning, we do it live on the Get Vocal platform. And I asked a quick question on where are certain people watching us. Junior's watching us in Iowa.
Okay.
Callie Dad is in LA.
Yes.
And keep putting those in.
And Daddy is in Pennsylvania.
And in Pennsylvania. Perfect. So we've got, oh, good. I love the West Coast when you guys tune in. Thank you very much. We love that. Hello to El Rey, who just joined us a second ago. We are live, and that means that you can communicate with us and weigh in on hot topics with us or ask us questions. We will go through all of those throughout this entire show. And we have so much to cover on this episode on this June 29th. My mom's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, Mom. Yeah, I get to see her this weekend when I go to Northern California to see her. Very excited about that. Little announcement. Tomorrow night, Thursday, June 30th, we are doing our once a month deeper conversation on the Discord channel with our Patreon members. And if you want to know what that's all about, you can go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. And with that, you can actually join at the Virgin tier and above. And we welcome all supporters of our Patreon community because we know it just takes that little bit of extra bit when you want to support the show at the $5 tier all the way on up. You get special sexy perks. And again, you can do that by going to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast. We are doing deeper conversation tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. So those of you who are already a part of it, it's 8:30 tomorrow night. I don't know, Kodi, you're working tomorrow, but you might pop in.
I'm going to pop in. I'm going to do my damnedest to pop in and say hi and happy Pride and I love you all. And so we can all chat.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Perfect. Well, we're going to have a great conversation and it will be great. So consider joining that. All right. Well, today, Kodi, I went to go see my doctor to re-up my prep because it was that time. When I broke my ankle, I had this backlog of Truvada that I never used. I wasn't. I mean, I got lucky back in 2002 when I ruptured my Achilles tendon and I went to Rome, and somebody wanted to sleep with me, and I was so excited at that time that they saw me on crutches. This time I was hunkered down here in the apartment, much like I am right now in this couch, but now I'm out and about. Well, I didn't use the Truvada, but they kept prescribing it, and so recently I've been getting my game back on.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I needed to go see my doctor to have that test. I've slept with a few people, not many, but a couple. And I thought, you got to do your testing for HIV and all your STDs,
Yes, very
which
important.
I did do. I'll get the results back. I'm pretty sure everything's great because for the most part, it was like 2 people. But yeah, you got to be like careful.
You have to better safe than sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Well, when I saw my doctor, I wanted to ask him about this recent business about monkeypox and, of course, meningitis. And my doctor, just to give you a little bit, I really like him. So I'm not changing doctors anytime soon. He's really good. And I've learned on this show, because we keep up with our sexual health, particularly on this show with the latest on what's going on with everything, I keep up with everything. And I asked him about monkeypox in particular. He said, well, I don't have the vaccine for that. And if you can get your hands on it, which honestly, he said, and our story that's going to come right after this will show you what's going on with that. So he's right when he said that information, but he did tell me if you can get your hands on it, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But he also said, I don't know how much it's going to cover. The smallpox vaccine is going to cover monkeypox. That's all he told me. But regardless, I still want to get it. And I don't know. A little
bit of coverage is better than no coverage.
Right.
Yes.
The other thing that I had asked him about was meningitis, because as we reported on Tuesday's show, is there's a current outbreak, and meningitis seems to have that roller coaster of a wave that comes into our community every several years since I've lived here in New York City. And I think I told the story the other day about when I was in a gay sex club and they were offering, and a doctor was offering the meningitis vaccination on hand, and I got it. I also got it probably 3 years ago, maybe 4, at Folsom East here in New York City.
Oh, nice.
So it's twice. And I asked him about that. He didn't seem to be so up on what's going on in Florida with our gay community. And he said, well, with meningitis, I wouldn't worry so much about it because it really has to be large groups of people in communal areas. And he almost hearkened up the image of Burning Man, that kind of community grouping. That's
Alegria, where I just
he didn't even say that. Yeah, but people having a lot of touch and in a campground type thing. I don't think he was really up on that, and that's where I think we really have to be
touched on a campground. It's amazing. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Really, that's what you want to do on the campground site. I mean, you're free, you're out in the open. Absolutely, I'm there with you.
Have veered off from the main story. Go ahead, continue. Okay,
but I think that's no worries. I think that's where he was a little bit out of touch, and that's where when we talk about this stuff, you have to have your own sexual health in mind, and you have to be your own sexual advocate. We say it all the time. We will continue to say it. We will continue to promote and talk about what's going on with all of this stuff. The one thing he was more concerned about was shingles, which at over 50, I think I'm supposed to get it, but it really does put you down, and it's 2 shots. It puts you out for a few days because it puts a little bit of it into you. Yeah. And so I just think, I can't. But
block off 2 days and just go grab it. Come on, girl. You got to take care of your health. We talk about health all the time on this podcast.
Shingles, I'm not so sure, though, that I may, but it really, he says you can't get any other vaccinations because it's a 2-shot shingles vaccination.
Oh,
so
wow.
Follow me on this.
Okay.
Yes. So when you get it, you have to get the second one, I believe he said 2 months later. And within that 2-month period, you cannot have any other vaccination during that period. He was very adamant when he told me that. So what am I going to do? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm more concerned about monkeypox and meningitis. I'm going to get those first.
I see your point.
Then get shingles, which I really feel that I was talking to a friend of mine. I call her Dr. Jennifer, my friend Jennifer. She's not a doctor. But she said, Steve, you really have a strong immune system. I don't think you are in danger of getting that. On the other hand, my doctor said, you will kick yourself if you happen to get it, because apparently it's one of those horrible things that you can get, shingles. It's just so painful. And my mom had it years ago, and it's,
oh no,
I know, it's just like our health right now. There's so many things to consider. I was so easy when I had my broken ankle. All I had to worry about was Instacart and getting food. Nothing about all this stuff.
Yeah.
I know, that was the easy part.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have to report though on monkeypox vaccine supply is expected to expand by the thousands.
Yes.
The federal government is about to distribute 296,000 doses of what they're calling Hymeneus. I'm not anyways, we're just going to go with that name.
Okay.
Vaccine used against an outbreak concentrated among gay and bi men. So the federal government is really stepping up to the plate with thousands of additional doses of a vaccine to combat monkeypox, which we all know has broken across the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And the Department of Health and Human Resources announced Tuesday that it's distributing, like I said, 296,000 doses of the vaccine, of which 56,000 doses will be made available immediately, with the remaining 240,000 doses to be made available in the next few weeks. Wow. This is really good news, I think, because New York, as we reported the other day, had our health clinic here have a line around the corner. Jam. And I just think that the federal government is stepping up to the plate with this. There was another story here in New York, which said that as of today, and meaning June 27th, so 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. So these numbers might have changed. This is according to the New York Health.gov website. As of today, 2 days ago, 48 people have tested positive for monkeypox or orthopox virus, as we're calling it.
Oh, wow. We fancy like that? We call it orthopox.
That's what they're saying. While anyone can get monkeypox, current cases are primarily spreading among social networks of gay, bi, and other men. And they went on to talk about how the CDC isn't stepping up to the plate. But as I just reported, the government really is. What are your thoughts when you hear about this? I know you're not sexually active, but I know you care about our audience and people like me. What are your thoughts about this and the rollout that the government is really doing with monkeypox viruses?
Oh, she's sexually active. It's just in a monogamous relationship.
Okay.
Let's just get that cleared up real quick.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I'm glad that the CDC is on top of it, but it's kind of worrying to me that your doctor is not as I should probably talk to mine, because it worries me that this information hasn't been disseminated to the medical professionals at large. I think a friend of mine, so I have a funny story also. I think that us gays are much more informed about it than even a lot of medical professionals out there. And that sounds kind of horrible in my mouth to even say, but it might even be a little bit true, because I have a friend staying with me, and every time he goes out, I say, don't bring no monkeypox back in this house. And he always talks to the people that he's going to meet up with, and they are very knowledgeable about monkeypox and what the symptoms are and how they can protect themselves against it. So I'm glad that the gay community is doing their job at large to protect themselves, and I hope that it continues. And I cannot wait for these new doses to come out so that we can actually be a little bit more protected.
Well, I don't blame you for talking to your friend who's staying with you, who is sexually active, because I can totally relate to that. For example, I went out for Gay Pride this past weekend for Gay Pride, And I went to one of our favorite spots, the Eagle, the New York Eagle, where it's the cruising that happens there. And I did have some fun over the weekend. But the thing about it is I could go out. I'm going away Saturday afternoon to see my family in the Bay Area, and I'm really excited to. But I'm also going to see, as I stated, my mom's birthday, my 84-year-old mom.
Yes.
So one of the things that I'm going to be doing when I go is I'm going to initially go to Oakland to see my sister on Saturday, and I have all these COVID tests. COVID, by the way, is on the rise again here in New York City. The last thing you want to give your 84-year-old mom or anybody is really COVID. So I will be taking a test, as will my sister, the night before, because then on Sunday I'll go see my mom. That being said, I now am layering in. I'm not going out tonight to a fun party that you and I have gone to in the last couple of weeks called Jockstrap Wednesdays.
So good.
Which a lot of fun can happen, sexual activity can happen. I've partaked in that before. I'm not going to go right now because I'm going to see my mom this weekend.
Yes.
I'm also not going to go out Thursday or Friday to those types of events because I'm aware of what's going on currently in here, particularly in New York City, and I can't afford to bring or risk any of that. I know they say look on your partner's bodies and all that, but the reality is you can't know for sure if somebody has a virus or not, or if they're really sick or not. When you are in the heat of the moment of sex, you're not noticing every single bump or cough or thing that's going on. You're into the D, you're into the Fs, you are into the pounding, the good stuff, as I like to call it, but not all the viruses that are out there. And so I'm doing my part and just not going to do it. There's plenty of time. I have all summer long to come back and have fun and hopefully get my vaccinations for that. But I agree with your friend and what he's doing to take care of him, that you are saying to take care of himself.
Yes, that's right. Mainly because it can be contracted through bedding even. So the fact that he's even in the house and sleeping in the bed that's here in the apartment, I could potentially get it. It's a very low potential, but it's still, the potential is there. And also the incubation period is 1 to 2 weeks. So how would you even know, really? So just stay as safe as you possibly can, and make sure you're doing everything to protect yourself and the people that you love.
Joe, watching us live right now, is that your Joe? Says
I think he left the room, but
he says, I believe it's hereditary regarding shingles.
Yeah.
My grandfather had it. Yeah, I don't really know on that one, but my mom got it at one point. I don't know who's susceptible or not to it. It's just one of those vaccinations that you get, and my doctor told me it's 2 doses of it, and when you first get it, you are out kind of for 2 or 3 days. And I don't know that I'm ready for all of that.
Not during the summertime.
Not during my hot summer.
Hot boy summer is here.
Hot boy summer is here. Yes.
Oh, man.
Okay, well, we have to move on. Here's one of your other stories, Kodi, that I know you're excited to talk about.
I can't wait, darling.
Well, we talked about the overturning of Roe versus Wade the other day, and it just keeps coming out as a Texas attorney general says he'll support the ban on sodomy when Supreme Court overturns Lawrence versus Texas. So as we were talking about the other day on Tuesday's show, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas questioned a number of the high court's past rulings, including Obergefell versus Hodges, which established the rights of same-sex couples to marry. We all know that, right? Lawrence versus Texas, a 2003 decision in which the court ruled against the state of Texas regarding 1973 law criminalizing the act of sodomy, fucking, which we all enjoy. And during a Friday So during a Friday appearance on New Nations, On Balance with Leland Vittert, Paxton said he would support the Supreme Court revisiting the cases mentioned by Thomas and defend Texas' long unenforced laws against sodomy. Justice Samuel Alito said his opinion applied only to abortion. He's the one that was that deciding factor. And the same reasoning they had applied could not be extended to Griswold, Lawrence, and Obergefell.
Do you believe that?
Well, I think that sounds logical, Kodi, but I think that given the slippery slope that we're currently on, I'm not trusting anyone. And that's why I go back to what we said on Tuesday's show is don't keep up with this stuff. We will do our part on this show, but you really have to get out there and vote in November for the midterms, because if it really does come to each state, Texas, you're really in trouble, but you have a say in this and you can really have your voice be heard in this. What are your thoughts on it, Kodi?
Yeah, I don't really believe that anything is safe right in this moment. I think that this is really kind of insane to me. And I think that we all need to do our best to protect all of our rights. I think, honestly, I think it's up to the people that are in charge in the executive branch and in Congress and whatnot to do what they can right now, because we do have the majority to protect our rights that are protected in the Supreme Court right now.
And we have to move on. We have so many topics to cover.
Oh my, that was easy.
That wasn't too bad. I know Kodi was a little worried about some of these topics, but we are getting into some good ones coming up here, including a man in Florida faces up to 100 years in prison for allegedly distributing over $230 million worth of adulterated and misbranded HIV medication, PrEP, to unsuspecting pharmacies across the country. And this is last Friday. The Department of Justice announced in a press release the indictment of Lazaro Hernandez, who's 51, of Miami, claiming he and his unnamed co-conspirators acquired large quantities of PrEP illegally, which they then repackaged to appear authentic. Prosecutors allege Hernandez and his co-conspirators then established licensed wholesale drug distribution companies in Connecticut, Florida, New Jersey, and New York, which they used to sell the altered drugs at a steep discount to unsuspecting pharmacies across the country. And these pharmacies sold the drugs to unsuspecting patients and billed the cost of Medicare.
Wow.
So no word on whether the medication was real or not. And if when they talk about altered, sorry, we don't have information on that yet, but this is alarming. No word on that. We'll have more information on that. We just wanted to put that out there to let everyone know that this is the current story going on. I'm glad they caught this guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it's scary to think that our sexual health is, I went to my doctor today. I went to get my HIV and my STIs tested. I use a pharmacy that's online here in New York City called Contact. I believe it's called Contact. Capsule, which I love.
Yeah.
I don't really know. They kind of don't really have an office here in New York City. They're not CVS. They're not any major pharmacy, and I trust them that they're going to have the right medication when it comes to me. I am also trusting them when I go out and I have sexual encounters, that everything's going to be okay. But I don't really know
what you think it's going to do.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of, it blows my mind, honestly, that somebody can actually get away with this and they don't have any protocols to kind of test the drugs that are there. Like, do I have to get a test kit? Because that's what they suggested when fentanyl was in all of the cocaine and things of that nature.
Test your drugs.
Test your drugs beforehand. So
this probably wouldn't work for PrEP.
You never know though. Like, I don't know. Do I have to become a chemist? I'm bad at math already. How can I be good at chemistry? So we put a lot of faith in our pharmacies and the people that we get our drugs from. So this is actually really, really, really scary.
Yeah, so we'll keep up on this story, but something to keep up. Well, recently, the Acropolis,
Hmm.
one little public sex scene at the Parthenon,
Yes.
which is at a monument at the Acropolis, which I've been to, Cody,
Me
in
too.
Athens. You've been there too?
It's
It's
beautiful.
really beautiful. I've been there in the summertime when it's really hot, though. And we reported on this earlier this year when a film company
Hmm.
produced an explicit gay sex scene that they later called a, what did they call it?
Political activism.
Thank you. Well, UNESCO, because the Parthenon is a UNESCO listed site, was not having it, and the Parthenon has installed 150 new cameras set up at the popular Grecian tourist site after the historic ruin saw an entirely different sort of action. So the
Hold on.
filmmakers,
Well, 1 second. Is this
yeah,
for a new? Is this for a new gay sex film? Is that what this is?
this is the original one that was
No,
out
that
there.
was a joke. That was a joke. Did they set up
Oh.
the cameras for a new gay
That
sex
could be
film?
fun. I know, right? Maybe they're looking. Somebody wrote in the comment section of the story that, oh, they just want to see the next story, sex story happen.
To
I
Parthenon
mean,
Part 2.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I do know how I feel about this. I'm all about renegade sex acts happening. When you see, I love a good sex scene on the New York subway system here in New York. I love it when I see it on a random beach that probably maybe isn't a nude beach.
Yeah.
It's probably not. Sex isn't allowed there. I love those kinds of renegade. If you can get away with it, do it. I do think there's a line when it is a national or UNESCO or a prized monument. I think you were saying the Martin Luther King monument, you wouldn't want to see defaced
Yeah, I
by
agree.
someone having sex by that. Do you stand by that comment that you said earlier in our meeting that
So I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking, and I agree that political activism and all that activism art should be allowed and even celebrated. But this kind of rides a line between, there's a bug in here and it's really getting my
okay?
nerves. Can you see it?
I can't, but I can tell you're disturbed.
Okay, but there's a line, like you said, that you just don't cross. And also, what you have to look at what this sex scene really accomplished in the way of activism. I think
You
that
said
is.
you watched the movie,
I did
Cody.
watch the movie, but I skipped all the other parts. First of all, the movie is in Greek. I only know 2 Greek words.
I don't even know one. What is one word you could teach us, Cody?
Kaliniktas, which is good night in Greek, and Kalispera, I think that's good morning. I might know 3. And Philaki is kiss, little kiss.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, she's multilingual, honey.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
I totally skipped over all of the, because I couldn't understand anything that they were saying. But I don't even know if I would have watched it if I could have understood anything that they were saying. I probably would have just skipped to the sex, because that's the most gripping and grasping part to me. So that I feel like the sex in the Acropolis is just sensationalism, really.
here's the thing. When you try and do anything at a major monument anywhere, recently I don't know if you saw this, they're at Disneyland or Disney World. A
Okay.
couple tried to propose in front of, I think It's a Small World. And the guy was literally on his knee about to propose to his fiancee,
Okay.
and a kid that worked for Disney World ran up and grabbed the ring box out of his hand and said, no, you can't do that here, and pulled it, but grabbed his property. But it was because it was apparently a no-no.
That's the wrong way to go.
I know. It was totally, it crossed many lines that they said, no, you can't do that here in the middle of proposing. Now, I get it that I mean, they should have just let him propose to his fiance, and that guy took his job a little too seriously.
Yeah.
For at what rate are you getting paid at, by the way, that you're really like going to disturb this beautiful moment? But apparently you can't do stuff like that. So I guess my point being is, when you are going to go renegade, to me, do it in places that aren't national monuments or national commercial monument publicity machines like Disney World or Disneyland, or you're going to face the consequences like these filmmakers are, like this guy did when he couldn't ultimately do his proposal to his fiancée like he wanted to. They cut it off. I think you're always going to be up against the system when you try it, but there's a good chance that you're not going to get away with it, or they're going to come after you.
Yeah, and they should have let him propose and then sued his ass afterwards. That's what I would have done.
Well, Disney, you would have. You're on the side of the corporation.
I missed the Disney today.
Wow. Yeah, we'll follow up on that story as we find more. Hey boys, new year, and that means new sex rules. Start the year off right by manifesting a sex-positive 2022. Your buddies over here at TAGS have got you covered in helping you achieve your sex conundrums and relationship queries. Ask TAGS for advice. We love giving our thoughtful outlooks to our friends, you. So DM us at TAGSPodcast on Instagram or email us at tagspodcast.com. Let's make this year a sexually positive 2022. What recently, we are big fans of Fire Island, the Hulu film written by Joel Kim Booster. And he is the leading man, which I just love him. Don't you, Kodi?
Oh, I adore him. He's so adorable. He's so cute. And he's so hilarious. And he's on a new show with Maya Rudolph, too.
I heard about that. So check him out. You got to watch Fire Island. But in a recent interview for Page 6, the actor revealed that when it comes to threesomes featuring new players is way harder than a day player guest spot. I love his analogy. It was a lot more fun being the guest star in a threesome than it was logistically planning it as a couple, he explains. Quote, it's a logistical nightmare. Before, it was just sort of you come in and you get the spotlight and then you leave, as opposed to when you're in a couple. Booster jokes that while he is glad to be coupled currently, so he's off the market, you guys.
Oh, no, they play around.
Oh, well, he says the dynamic shift from featured to regular cranks up the difficulties. Quote, you want to be a series regular, but you realize there's a lot more responsibility in that. You call the time, the call times are earlier, longer. That's hilarious. What are your thoughts about this? Because I've been a guest star in a threesome before, and it's a lot of fun. You really come in. I can think of one that here in Chelsea, these two guys that I was the guest star, and the problem was I was into one of them more than the other. Okay. But they had a dog, and one of them had to go walk the dog. And fortunately, the one that I was into more, I was able to get down and dirty. And believe me, we made good use of our time while the other one was walking the dog, for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, hey, I wish went with the lead with the other guy.
You were having your scene moment. You're ready for your close-up, Mr.
I looked at the script ahead of time, and there was 5 scenes to film, and one of them goes out to walk the dog, and the other 2 have steamy, passionate, hot fucking sex.
I love it.
Well, I took that scene seriously.
I bet you did.
Oh, honey, yeah. So I think that when you do that kind of thing, it's way better to be the guest star. I was in a brief relationship where I wasn't really into this guy that much. Okay. And we were looking for a third, and it just became, I don't know, it just didn't work out for me so much. Yeah. And I was much more jealous. It was work. I didn't like it as much. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on being the guest star versus being in a relationship, finding a third?
I love being the guest star, darling. You get to come in, be the focal point in a threesome. That is the best part. Okay. And it's two bodies that you're the new person. And so when you're the fresh meat, that's the one everybody wants all the time. When you're the fresh meat. So I remember this one time I went to this couple's house and it was so hot. Both of them were gorgeous. It was in Philadelphia. We DP'd his boyfriend.
DP'd even.
It was glorious. And I've had other hot threesomes. And I think that I'm the type of person that's way too jealous to have a threesome with my own partner. So for me to set up a threesome, I would have to, I don't know, have someone off of Grindr already and then call in a third. But I'm in a relationship now, so that's not going down.
So we recently talked on Tuesday's episode 377 with the upcoming film Bros, which is going to be a competitor to Fire Island.
Yes.
Although it's a major studio Hollywood film.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about on that one that we're going to see foursomes on that. I've had a friend in the past that said even numbers are, wait, did he say even numbers are better or odd numbers are better? I can't remember. What's your thoughts, though, on even numbers versus odd numbers in sexual encounters?
Have I had a foursome? I've had, I think, a fivesome. I don't know if I've had a foursome. That is a very good question. And so I've been the only top in a fivesome.
What?
Yeah. And that is a lot of work. And I rose to the occasion.
Are you kidding? Really?
No,
Did you
I'm
just
not
line
kidding.
up the asses?
They were lined up and one after the other. Bam, 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 bam. And of course I didn't come every single time, but I made sure that they were
satisfied.
Yeah.
Like a good cancer that you are. Wow. That's a lot of responsibility.
I'm a people pleaser. I'm just
And I've been
Joe's a lucky guy. Let me just put it that way.
I guess. And I've been in threesomes before. They can work. The one that I suggested worked really well because they were a couple and I was the guest star. Yeah. I've had a threesome before with one friend of mine and a third that my friend knew. So we were all having a sexual encounter. It was fun until I started to get into my head thinking that my friend and the other guy were a little bit more connected than maybe I was. Okay. And that's where I think I'm do better one-on-one because I'm going back to the basics, y'all.
Yeah.
Of just one-on-one or group sex potentially.
Oh my God, that is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it's either one-on-one or 24 people.
Thank you. Or a sex party where I can kind of have fun and go and I think that's what it is for me too. It just needs to be like a bunch of people that I could play around with. That's why I want that vaccination for monkeypox and meningitis because I want to have this fun.
You get 2 for me, still 1 for me, okay? Because you have all the fun for me as well.
Yeah. Audience watching us right now, let us know where you stand on the threesomes, foursomes, and beyond, or are you just a one-on-one? We will read your responses as we continue on. But yeah, I'm here for Joel Kim Booster on what he's saying, and I love that he's a leading man, an Asian gay man, who's, you said, in an open relationship, starring in a new show with Maya Rudolph.
They play around. I don't know. He said, because he's quoted as saying he doesn't mind if his boyfriend goes to hook up with other guys. And this just might be a joke, but if he watches one of the shows that him and his boyfriend watches together with someone else, then the boyfriend is in trouble. So that leads me to believe that they are in some type of open situation. But I don't know for sure. I don't know him. But I mean, I want the video footage from when he had his 3-way or whatever. So just if we can find that, then please send it this way. Thank you.
Well, we've got to move on. And in a new Advocate article, Neil Patrick Harris is talking about everything about his husband, about his children. But he is in a brand new show that I can't wait on Netflix coming in July called Uncoupled by Sex and the City's Darren Star. He talks about in the article about he's really excited about what it would be like to be in a Sex and the City like character. Apparently, he is in a long-term relationship, his character in this new show, Uncoupled, and on his partners, he's in his late 40s. His long-term partner is turning 50, and on his partner's 50th birthday, he tells Neil Patrick Harris's character that he doesn't want to do this anymore. He's over it, and he drops him.
Oh, no.
Leaving Neil Patrick Harris's character in his late 40s, who is a real estate agent, a prominent one, to start all over. He thought he was going to be with this guy forever, and it's got a very Sex and the City vibe. He's got to get on things he never knew, like Grindr and all these sort of things. It's a great article. I'll post it on TAGSPodcast.com. I can't wait to watch it. But one of the things he says in this article, quote, I think it's a manifestation. Actually, I'm on the right article. Excuse me. He talks about aging in this article, which I think is really great. I think a large chunk of my life, I think for a large chunk of my life in my body, I felt younger than I actually was, he adds. I often felt insecure at gyms or at parties or socializing a lot because I didn't feel comfortable in my skin. Now I'm 49. I'm proud of my journey, and I don't feel like it's ending. Knock on wood, I'm still on an upward trajectory. No hip replacements, no knee replacements, no nothing. Not yet.
Knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood too.
He says he feels better than he's ever felt in his whole life as he's aging. It brings up the question, Kodi, how do you feel in your current stage? Do you feel, I was looking at some pictures of myself just in 2016, and I don't look like I look like in 2016, but I like how I'm so much more confident with who I am and comfortable and constantly working on who I am.
Okay.
And that being said, I was amongst a group of people that were much younger than me. And when I told them my age, because it came up, I didn't just advertise it, they were in disbelief and thought I was much younger than I appeared, which I appreciated. But it does bring up the question, do you relate to Neil Patrick Harris that you're better now with your age? Because you have to keep in mind, he's in a long-term married relationship with kids. So you are in a relationship now. How do you feel with a younger
kids though?
But no kids? How do you feel?
We got plants. That's it. There's one behind me right over here. How do I feel about aging? Darling, I don't agree with aging. I shan't be doing it. Thank you very much. Okay. No,
I agree. I just saw some of the comments. I realized my comments were updating. And sorry, say that again, Kodi.
Not even a giggle, bitch. Damn. No, that's okay. No, I agree with Neil Patrick Harris. You have to feel comfortable at whatever age you are. You have to look at it realistically. A 20-year-old ass is not going to look the same as a 70-year-old ass. And I'm talking with my hands and knocking this earpiece all over the place. But yeah, all we can do is do our best, and I'm trying to do my best, and my damnedest to make sure that I'm happy and healthy and hot by continue to work out and make sure that I am living my best life out there in these streets. So I agree with Neil Patrick Harris that all you can do is take a chord of where you are in your life and make sure you live the best life you can at whatever age you are.
Yeah, I think you have to really figure out what makes you happy first and foremost. I can look back at those 2016 pictures of myself, which I happened to be scrolling through. I was actually looking, here's a funny story. The reason I was scrolling through my Instagram today, because I wanted to see, I knew the last time I got a vaccination for meningitis was when I went to Folsom East with a friend of mine. And I couldn't remember if it was 2019 or 2018. And I was looking up how long between meningitis vaccinations, and it said up to 5 years. So I was scrolling through my @Steve V Instagram account to find this picture that I thought I took with a friend of mine at Folsom East, and couldn't find it. But as I was going through, I'm going, oh my God, down memory lane of all these pictures of myself. And I'm got down to 2016. I'm like, I know it wasn't that long ago. So apparently I never posted that damn pic to see if I had, when I got the meningitis vaccinations.
Yeah.
But what I did do in the meantime was see pictures of me up until 2016. And at 2016, I'm like, look at my waistline in 2016.
You know, you look the same. Okay.
It's not the same. And I can fully admit that it's not the same. I do. But I don't know that I knew it then. I don't know that I was aware, but I did post more pictures of myself shirtless back then. I don't really want to post pictures, partly because my waistline doesn't look like that anymore. But partly I was looking at my body and thought, wow, I was really leaner back then. I actually like the muscle that I can retain more now, which I think is a positive thing. It doesn't have the waistline that I used to have. And I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind that waistline. Yeah. But I feel like I'm more aware of who I am now than who I was in 2016. In other words, I feel like I had more insecurities probably back then, even though I looked the way I looked then, than I do now.
That's very telling. That's amazing. I love that.
It's waistline or more comfortable with how you feel. I choose where I'm at now and to be happy with who I am now. And just like you said, to reiterate what you said, is just really be healthy and be the best version of myself that I can be. That's all you can really do. And be happy that you're even alive, I think is really what it...
Amen.
I mean, come on now.
And daddies are hot, okay? They were hot when I was 20 and they're hot now.
Teddy says, what does Teddy say there? If you can read that comment there, Kodi. I can't see it with my new prescription.
You need to get your prescription checked, bitch. Teddy says Steve looks amazing, and I agree. I agree. I already said that Steve looks amazing, and you probably look very similar to what the other picture. So you look amazing, boo. You do look amazing.
No, but you know what? Go ahead.
And then El Rey says, both of you never age. I had to read that one too.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I really appreciate Neil Patrick Harris just being him. And he's such, I don't know, he's been around forever. And I think he is a sign of the times on where we could be and where we should be. I'm all for it. I think that... But aging in our community is a foreign topic to even be talking about it. And yeah, I do see a lot more acceptance. I know when we talk in a larger macro, I think that people are scared about it and, ooh, don't talk about that and don't say this about your age. But you know, when you really look at the pockets of your world, and hopefully you see examples of different age groups and people aging gracefully and doing it's, you know, you just gotta be happy with where you're at and be, like you said again, be the best that you can be. Version of yourself, right?
I think back on Sophia Loren and how she's aged, and that is exactly how I want to age, gracefully and gorgeously.
Well, you are on. Okay, Sophia.
And Rita Moreno. Oh my God, she looks amazing.
Yes. Well, we've got to move on because we have to almost get to our thirst trap. But Anderson Cooper was just on Andy Cohen's podcast, and Anderson Cooper relayed the message or shared a little bit more on who helped him realize he was gay. It was a shirtless Richard Gere that helped him realize that he was really gay at the time. And I am not mad at a shirtless Richard Gere in the 80s. I remember all those movies back in the early 80s. Richard Gere was fine.
Yeah, Officer and a Gentleman, right?
That's when he picked her up and walked in his
I didn't even know because I was watching him the whole time.
I know her name. I can't think of her name right off the bat. But Deborah Winger.
Google it really quick.
Was it Deborah Winger?
I'll Google it.
I think it's Deborah Winger. Actually, I'm not sure if I'm right on that. But yeah, it begs the question, Kodi. Who in TV or who in general helped you realize you were gay? Deborah Winger? Okay, got it.
Deborah Winger. Yep. Very good, darling. 2 snaps.
Okay. She was Drusilla in Wonder Woman series.
Was she?
Yeah. She played.
I gotta go back and watch.
Linda Carter's younger sister. Yeah.
Okay. That kind of grinds my gears a little because Donna's Drusilla is not the name of Wonder Woman's little sister. It's Donna.
Oh, well, I don't know. I might have made that up. I'm
no.
sure.
They probably had to change it for the rights on the TV show. You're probably 100% right.
I'm going to turn on HBO Max tonight and watch that episode to see when she comes and visits. But did you have somebody, because I had 2 actors that really got me hot and bothered, that I think that's how I determined I was gay. One of them was Magnum PI, Tom Selleck. Not the Tom Selleck of today, but the Tom Selleck of yesteryear when he was in Magnum PI, filmed in Hawaii. And he was in the beach and he was just that thick ass mustache and he was muscly and he drove that, I think it was a red, what kind of car, Kodi? Was it a Ferrari? And it was just everything. Dude. He was just,
I have no idea.
Yummy. He was
I agree.
Definitely.
And the short shorts.
And the short shorts. You're right.
That is the look I'm going for these days. I'm trying to look like Daddy
Tom Selleck. That's a good one. Who did it for you on TV? Because I'm going way back to the 80s.
Okay. I put down so many answers.
I have one more.
Okay, go, shoot.
So let me just get my old school shows out of the way. Steve Austin, Lee Majors,
Steve Austin? You was watching wrestling?
Steve Austin was the $6 million man, the Bionic Man, played by Lee Majors in the 7 Days. And I watched it with my dad.
Oh, yeah.
And it was dun-dun, dun-dun.
Oh, man, you're so cute. I love it.
And I was like, and I had the doll. My parents bought me the doll, and he had a thing where he could look far with his eye, and I would pull the doll up to my face and look through his right eye to look far, and I would pretend and he also had a spaceship outfit because he went into space. That I had that too. I mean, he was like a Ken doll, but a Steve Austin doll that I loved. I've had such a crush on him, but little known fact though, he was really not nice to Farrah Fawcett when he was married to her.
No.
And in real life, I didn't know that at the time. So sorry, everybody.
Lee Majors, we're here for Steve Austin. Not Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Not Lee Majors, but
not
Steve
Lee
Austin.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are my 2. Who are yours?
I have like 8.
You better get to them because we got to read the people.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my favorite show was, and this is, people are probably going to read me for Phil, but Oh my God. And it just you talking about the $1 Million Man made me think of it. And it's with the two brothers and the red car. What was it called? Oh my God.
Oh my God, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I'll go to my second one.
Okay, go to this.
George Michael
Oh, honey.
was
Who turned out to be gay.
Exactly. So there's that. And okay, I have to Google it now. I'm so sorry.
Well, while you're Googling that, I'm going to read some of the people watching us. Billy says Brad Pitt for me. Brad Pitt, are you talking in Thelma and Louise or a little bit later? Let us know. El Rey says the two on Miami Vice. Oh, I love the two of them. Don Johnson definitely was the hot one. And I remember rocking that look to my 8th grade junior high dance. I was head to toe. I was probably more the other guy, but I was thinking of Don Johnson at the time. I had no socks on, white pants, white jacket. I made my mom buy it for me. It was crazy. Daddy says, I knew I was gay when I was 11. Danny Pintaro from Who's the Boss?
Oh my God, he's gay too now. I mean, he was.
Oh, right. I had the biggest crush on him. Really? I didn't know that. I got to look him up. Teddy says, the kid on The Never Ending Story, laughing out loud. Oh, my God. We are going way back, everybody. But also Ricky Martin. And thank you, Teddy, in the Menudo era. I was, not the General Hospital era, because he was in General Hospital at the time, too. I'm kind of into Ricky Martin now.
I know, right?
2022 version of him. Keep on going with these. We want to know more. I want to know more about Brad Pitt, on which movie that was. Kodi, did you Google it and find out?
I can't find it.
Well, you said
that makes me so upset. It's the two brothers, and they were in a car. They were always running from the police.
Knight Rider?
No, not Knight Rider.
Well, I hate him.
Not Supernatural. That's
Supernatural?
way too. It was back in the 70s. There's the good old boys.
Oh, are you talking about Dukes of Hazzard?
Dukes of Hazzard. That's what it is. Oh my God, the Dukes of Hazzard was. Oh my God. Whew, I'm getting hot.
The Dukes of Hazzard. They were 70s guys for sure.
I watched them in reruns. I
was going to say, you seemed a little young for that.
The tight pants, the tight shirts. Oh my God, I used to love the Dukes of Hazzard.
You just wanted to be Daisy, the girl. Oh, El Rey says He-Man was the master of the universe. Now it all makes sense. He-Man. Okay. Wow. These are really good, you guys. I'm definitely here for all of these for sure. Okay. Well, it's time. Any other things, Kodi,
No. Ricky Martin was a big one for me, too. That was like my sexual awakening now.
Okay.
Oh, we both put it in there. Look at that.
Oh, here we go with Straight Up Gay Porn's weekly thirst trap recap. And they asked the question, which of these 18 gay porn stars took the best photo? Oh, my goodness. There's some really good ones. Our job is to vividly describe on an audio podcast why out of these 18, who got your thirst? Kodi, do you have one? Because I didn't have a chance to look at it yet.
So my vote this week goes to this. I do this first to get me in the mood for the show. So
nice.
So my vote goes to Sean Xavier because it takes all of that hunk of man to top Raheem Shabazz. Remember we reported on this?
Yes.
It's a mirror selfie.
Oh my goodness.
And everything about it is perfect, from the lighting cascading down on his rippling muscles.
The lighting's amazing.
It's so good. To the position of the camera, to his cheeky grin saying, you know I'm sexy, to the hue of that blue twilight out the back window, and of course, that beautiful cock. Sean Xavier, chef's kiss. This is a great one. Thank you, babe.
Mine goes to Brock Banks, who is clearly playing in this photo one of those, what do you call those online virtual games? He's gaming.
Yeah, he's gaming.
So he's gaming. He's got the headset on. He's got the joystick, if you will, and he's totally into his game, but he has a total hard on with his
headphones on.
Yeah, and look at
that was another favorite of mine.
Yeah, his dick is hard. He's uncircumcised, so you can see it partially covering the tip of his dick, and he has low hanger balls, beautiful tats, and he's laying back just into the game, but with a hard dick. And I had this fantasy before with a gamer that I saw in a porn before, where I would be the one just playing with this boy as he's having fun gaming, and I would totally be having my fun in my games while he's having fun online, and I could have a lot of fun with this. I already have a lot of mental images of this that I'm like gonna jerk off to later.
You got your joystick, and he has his joystick.
Okay. What are people saying before we end this show?
El Rey says Brock makes him want to buy a PS5, and Daddy234 wants Sam Ledger for obvious reasons. I gotta go take a look at what Sam Ledger looked like on this.
Okay, love it. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We're almost over our time. So much topics. You can always follow my co-host, Kodi Maurice Doggette. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching or at Mr. Maurice. Follow us at TAGSPodcast. Thanks, guys, live audience, for participating, and those listening to it when this drops. Don't forget, we have deeper conversations tomorrow, June 30th, Thursday, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to patreon.com/TAGSPodcast if you want to join in the convo. Yeah. Thanks, Kodi. So much fun.
Thank you, babe. Always so much fun.
And in the meantime, continue having hot,
gay
sex. Yes, honey. Super.
New message.
Hey, girlfriend, it's Carol from jury duty. We never actually spoke, but I saw you ordered the same hoagie as me at lunch. What are the chances? Anywho, I heard you just got a boat. We should totally grab some hoagies and take it out for a spin.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Do I want to feel the wind in my hair? Guilty as charged. Oh, seriously, let's ride on your boat.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
At JCPenney's 4th of July sale, it's all stars, stripes, and savings. Enjoy up to 50% off select furniture, mattresses, and window coverings. Plus, shop thousands of doorbusters across the store or use your coupon for additional savings. Take advantage of extended store hours Friday and Saturday. It's time to refresh your star-spangled manor. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Offers N74. Exclusions apply. Doorbusters excluded from coupons. See jcp.com for details.